It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. It's time to open door number 19 on the Christmas Advent Calendar Virgin Wines box. Just 6 beers to go. 5 beers to go, actually. Let's do the maths properly. You love my maths on this. I tell you love my pricing, don't you? When I say how much things cost. It's about as good as my maths. So door number 19 on the Virgin Wines Beer Advent Calendar. What do we have? Ooh, again. Now, I think I've heard of this brewery. Whether I've had anything from them before, though, is another matter. It's Two Tribes Mariachi Lager, 4.7% ABV. Now, where are these guys based? Brewed and canned by Two Tribes Brewing Company, UK. Tile Yard Road, King's Cross in London. Ah, there you go. King's Cross. I like King's Cross. Nice, lovely railway station there. King's Cross St Pancras. If you want to go to Europe on the Eurostar, you go to King's Cross St Pancras. I know that because we went to Disneyland a good few months ago now, but we had to go to King's Cross. Anyway, hello to everybody from King's Cross and Two Tribes. Let's get this beer out into a glass. What we get? Have I got a lager glass? I suppose I have, yeah. I think I can use this. I can use that as a lager glass. Now, the reason why I say that is because I don't know what I'm... Each time I open one of the doors on this Advent calendar, it's a surprise for me too. So I gotta have a selection of glassware out here so we know what we're doing. We can make the right choice. Right, so quite a carbonated lager. You can see that kind of head building up in the glass. I don't think the head's going to be around very long. It's already dissipating down, not massively quickly, but it's going to be okay. We got slow moving carbonation there. It's a amber coloured lager with a little bit of sediment in there too. Now, it's been described on the back here as a Mexican lager, hopped with Columbus. Interesting. So what do I think of when I think of Mexican lager? I think the obvious one is Corona. You think of Corona or... yeah, Corona, something really clean. You know, very clinical and clean and very refreshing. And at 4.7% ABV, this should really be refreshing. So let's get the aroma on this one past this 4-finger white head. It smells clean. It does, it smells clean. It's got that kind of clean, clinical, but spicy and peppery aroma to it. A little bit of lemon, a little bit of spiciness. You get that little bit of sweet malt in there. It smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Whoa. Oh, wow. Mexican lager. Wow, with a bitterness on that, I would say more Pilsner. I would definitely be thinking much more of a Pilsner rather than a Mexican lager. Ooh. It's really clean. It's really refreshing to start with. And then as soon as that kind of clean, refreshing, slightly sweet start to the beer moves out of the way, it's full on kind of almost like a raw bitterness, almost like a big foot to the floor, driving as fast as you can, kind of like, you know, they've really hopped it with the Columbus. They've mentioned Columbus hops. They've really banged some hops in here. But for the bittering, not necessarily to overly flavour it, but they've added it to the boil, so it's really bitter. Really bitter. It's nice. It's a nice lager, it definitely is. I don't know, what is a Mexican lager? I'd like you guys to comment in the comments box. I'm not a massive lager buff. I like my German lagers, I like my Czech lagers. But in terms of like, kind of like world lager, I've never been to Mexico, really, never. I've never been to America. So, I've never toured about. This could be a Mexican lager. Two tribes could have been on holiday in in Mexico and tried lots of different Mexican lagers, and they've decided that this is a Mexican lager. But what I know of the Mexican lager is, of course, Corona. It's probably one of the world's best-selling beers. But that's nothing like this. Corona is really clean, like really just a clinical, slightly sweet, malt-driven, not overly hopped lager that you could probably drink 6 bottles of. This is much more of a balanced, but leaning towards bitter. In terms of that kind of sweetness and bitterness, it's definitely leaning towards the bitterness, but a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more complex, well, a lot more complex than a Corona, definitely. It's nice, it's got a lemon and lime kick to it. Carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more of the flavour. It's another really interesting beer from the Virgin Wines Beer Advent Calendar. And I've had a lot of fun with this. I know I keep mentioning it, but why not? We're doing this every day until Christmas. This is the 2nd year now I've done an Advent Calendar. I'm really quite pleased with it. I really am. It's fun, it's exciting. We got door number 20 tomorrow, which is there. And then we got about another 3 or 4 beers left after that. And Virgin Wines, they do beer as well. You know, you go on their website, they sell beer, not just wine. But I like it. It looks good. It smells good. Tastes good. I think it's my first beer from Two Tribes. I'd buy it again. It says brewed with Mexican lager yeast for the authentic finish and hopped with Columbus to create a dry beer with undertones of resiny citrus. Beer, music, art come together. Yeah, I like it. I like it enough to give it, I'm going to say a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. If I would change anything with the beer, I would probably lower the bitterness a little bit and maybe put them Columbus hops, or more of the Columbus hops that were put in the boil, and maybe put some in the fermenter. Maybe kind of like get some more fruity flavour in there rather than just raw bitterness. That would be my only criticism. 7 out of 10. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.